What do you mean I'm double booked with Wallace Shawn? He's not going to be on the show. Wallace Shawn is dead. I watched
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
2 minutes for roping. I like that.
You're a jabroni.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday night. It's What the Show. We were just graced by a live intro from Benny, even though the end of it got clipped out by StreamYard. It's a great night.
That was quality. Thank you for that. I still keep thinking about one day Wallace Shawn is going to be dead. I mean, he is, but he's going to be like dead. And our intro is just going to be real bizarre for a while.
It'll happen on a Thursday, though. It'll be a night bitch.
It will be a night bitch. It'll night bitch us.
Yeah, we're going to have to go live no matter what that day at some point.
Yeah, we'll have to do some kind of in memoriam for Wallace Shawn, obviously. Also, AJ, that was some of your best backstage dancing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try to make a show of it for you guys. I know, Benny, you did not see that because just the nature of StreamYard. But guys, we got Benny Hamblin on tonight.
Good to be here.
The one, the only.
So good to have you back, Benny. We had a little bit of a conflict. We were supposed to have everybody from Extra Movie Butter on, I guess it was like a month ago.
Yeah. And now we're just having you.
We decided to
one.
bring you on one by one because we had some scheduling conflicts last month. But Benny's on the always welcome list regardless. So we figured out a good date that worked out for all of us. And so always wonderful to have you back, Benny. So how you been? I am a pretty regular listener to the podcast. And I'm always interested in hearing your takes because you never know what you're going to say.
Well, thank you, I suppose. I guess that makes me a good critic.
Absolutely. I actually have not listened to the one that dropped this week, but did you see Speak No Evil?
I did see Speak No Evil, and I'm glad I did because it saves this from being the worst movie I watched this week.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That
Wow.
So you liked it?
No. This had its moments of enjoyment. Speak No Evil is an abomination before humanity.
Wow.
There's only one movie I've seen I disliked more than that all year. Horrible movie.
What would that be?
Was it Dune 2?
No. It was Underneath Paris, which is weird because I love shark movies, but I hate that movie.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. This is fair. You're squeaking over here.
So yeah, without further ado, I guess I commissioned commissioned, I guess that's the proper term, Benny with saying, can you come on and talk about Cannibal the Musical, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Which says exactly all we need to know about you, AJ. It drags you.
And it was one of those things where I knew you'd at least say something besides it was fine.
Right. There's a lot to talk about. I've been well aware of the movie for a long time, especially having watched South Park since the beginning, knowing what Trey and Matt have been known for it. And it's kind of, I saw Orgasmo, but I never saw Cannibal the Musical. And so it's a blind spot. So I finally, took the time to actually watch it over the past 2 days. And Bethany watched part of it.
Yes, I have not completed my journey. That's how good of a journey it is. You need to.
I have
watch it in
so
stages.
many questions, though, about not necessarily about the movie, because I kind of get where the approach came from, but more so about the production, because the production value on this is wild.
Yeah, it was a student film made by, I believe they went to Colorado State University. Yeah. With the South Park crew, and it's just like what you could make with what you have with studio materials. And honestly, production wise, when you look at like the direct to video like musicals at the time, it's pretty spot on to that. They just decided to take it in a wildly different direction.
I think that the costuming is quite good, considering,
Yes.
everything. I think there's a lot of things that's good about it, considering it's a student film. I couldn't make something that good.
And the production of it, obviously being made, released in 93, I'm guessing made in 92, 93 is my educated guess when they actually filmed it. For making something then, obviously CGI was not as prevalent, it barely existed. Seeing, practical sets was refreshing, but there was like one scene where they showed the courthouse that I almost burst out laughing when I saw the facade of the said courthouse.
Yeah, it was very much like a shitty pioneer town the entire way through. I love it.
It says something about cinema, though, that Cannibal the musical made for like $18, and The Godfather's Final Resting Place are both on Tubi, and it's just like it's like a perfect combination. It's like that's where eventually all films go.
I think it says something beautiful about Tubi.
I know,
Yeah.
it's like movie heaven. It's just like when they die, that's where they go. If they were
Look at all the things you
So,
can find. Really.
No, we did put it on Tubi last night. I realized I forgot that Tubi you can't restart unless you have an account. So I'm like, crap, because I had a stop point. I knew where it was, and AJ told me it was on YouTube. YouTube had it ad free. Like there was no ads on YouTube. And then I was just going to go through some notes on it, and apparently today Peacock got it. So
It's
what?
yeah, apparently today
This is
dropped
what
on Peacock.
takes Comcast into the stratosphere. They've been trying.
You got the what the show bump.
Yeah.
And you just got the what the show bump, baby. You're in it to win it.
Spadoinkle.
Spittlewinkle.
Next week they're going to contact us to do Madam Web Fury Road.
Yeah.
I like the way potato is
Potato.
pronounced in this film. And
My heart's as pure as a baked potato.
Potato.
Which is really all. That reminds me of the time that we went to Manny's and our server Joe pronounced it kind of like that.
How's your potato?
Yeah, she still kind of did a little bit of the O, but it was a little bit of potato.
It's the greatest dining experience of my life.
Absolute disdain in her heart and her tone and her everything. She was so annoyed that I ordered baked potato or potato.
For a refresher, for those who might not know this story, we went to a steakhouse, and Bethany, of course, is vegetarian, and she usually will get like a salad and sides when we go out to someplace like that. And we had this sassy old waitress, who probably in her 60s or 70s, I had to take a guess.
I'd say like 60s.
Yeah. Bethany orders a potato, and she's like, "Is that all you want?" And Bethany's like, "Oh yeah."
She was very offended. And so then I felt like I needed to explain myself, which usually I don't. I just order what I want. I don't explain. Well, sometimes they'd be like, "Sorry, this is a weird order." Because people think I'm like cheap, I'm like, I'm not being cheap. I just like can't eat. I don't eat meat. And so I was like, "Oh, like I'm a vegetarian." And she's like, "My son used to be normal until he married a vegan." And I was like, "Oh." She was very offended by us, kind of people.
And then I ordered like a whatever, probably like a sirloin or a fillet. And I like, give me a fillet, medium rare.
Homie.
Her response though when I order the fillet is like,
"Good for you." And then when she comes back, because I have to do like all servers do, they have to do like a little check back on your food. She comes back and she literally, with disdain, with hatred in her eyes, was like, "How's your potato?" Like, you little weird girl who only eats vegetables. I was like, okay.
Best waitress I've ever had.
Yeah. It was, I should have brought my vegan power serve. She was, man, Joe. I think about her often. We visited that place and then the COVID hit and that
They never reopened.
did not reopen. And every once in a while, I'm just like, I hope Joe's doing okay. We gave her a great tip. I've never had someone so honestly and openly hate me for absolutely no good reason, but I loved every minute of it. I was like, I'm going to give you a great tip.
Wait, chicken isn't vegan?
No,
chicken's
no.
not vegan. What about human flesh, though? Going back to Cannibal the musical.
Cannibal the musical. So this is based on a true story, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something that the filmmakers like grew up learning about in like Colorado history. Like, how you have to do your state history class.
Mm-hmm.
They took that story that was just like, oh, this is absurd to teach children. Let's make a fucking musical about it.
I do like that that's a thing we all had to learn about as like elementary school, middle school children. They were just like, would you like to learn about cannibalism? And we all just learned about it. Like, that's wild. But I did not know this particular Cannibal. I only knew, the Donner Party. So this was, I guess you have to be a cool Colorado kid. I have a niece and nephew now going to public school in Colorado. I'm going to ask if they learn about him.
Yeah, Alfred Packer. Or Juan Schwartz, which is what Trey Parker is credited as in this movie. I don't know if you saw that in the credits.
Yes.
He took an alias of Alfred Packer and made that his credited name.
I'll give them credit though for like a low budget movie. They did stick like really historically accurate with the costuming. And so I really respected that. Like occasionally you could tell someone was wearing a polyester shirt, but there's only so much you can do for, when you're doing historical recreation on like $10,000.
Yeah, this is true.
And again, you got to remember it's a student film. And I was talking to Bethany about this. I took video production in high school not that long after that movie came out. I'm like, yeah, we had different types of VHS that we used at that point. Some of them were like high speed VHS, but we weren't quite digital at that point. So like, is that what they used to film this? Like, was this actually filmed on VHS?
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
It's been upscaled from VHS in every re-release that they've ever done.
That's wild.
My other things for resourcefulness, like the Native Americans were not written to be Japanese. It's just that when you're on a college campus, there weren't a lot of Native Americans there, but there were a lot of Japanese exchange students. So
that's what you get. Were they playing Native American?
Yeah.
Or were they playing Japanese?
Yeah. Well, so you didn't get to the Indians. We have to talk about this. You see them, and they're dressed kind of Native American pioneer town like, but they are super Japanese. The chief, his first intro is "We are an Indian."
That's a choice.
They
definitely speak Japanese to each other.
And according to IMDb, because I did a little deep dive today, according to the trivia, that what they said to each other in Japanese translated into "We are in a really shitty movie,"
which is fair.
Which I'm sure Trey told them to say.
It would be funny if he had not.
I just really think Colorado makes you an interesting.
To me,
place.
this movie has like a Mel Brooks spoof kind of charm, though. Like if you grew up with those like old timey pioneer musicals, it really plays off those in a way that say Robin Hood Men in Tights plays off of like the Kevin Costner Robin Hood. It's just kind of shitty, but also like the musical numbers are insane. I did not know before I saw this movie that Trey Parker was as vocally gifted as he was. Like things like that. It's just crazy.
Into Broadway, so I guess that makes sense.
Well, when South Park got bigger, not necessarily at first, but once they did the movie, obviously the South Park movie is basically a musical. It's like 75% of that is presented through song, but they try to throw in a musical number into South Park whenever they get a chance, even if it doesn't fit into the show. They try to do it in.
Oh, they're just musical theater nerds at the end of the day.
Like this is actually being quite serious. If you want to see how good they are, you got to find their Red Rocks concert, which you can find on YouTube. You can find it on Paramount Plus. Matt Stone in particular plays like every instrument. Like they are musically gifted.
Oh yeah, it's just so weird to see, like, say even for me in 2010 2011, and I'd casually seen a couple of episodes of South Park. I'm like, oh, they did this movie in 1993, it's on Netflix, let's go. And then I showed it to every friend that I had. Like this was the movie that like your friend shows you in their first apartment when you hang out with them. I was that guy. This is the movie.
Yeah, then it changed into Southland Tales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Whoa, with the full name today.
The Southland Tales.
Who are
admittedly,
you?
The Southland Tales is the second date movie. Justin.
Justin
Welcome.
David Oliver with the government name today, not the government name.
I have an announcement.
Okay.
This is the first time that I've been on the show since I have a renewed passport.
Ooh.
Oh, I know why you got the passport.
I got the passport. We'll talk about that later. But all I'd like to say is there's two different ways you can obtain a new passport once you have a passport. If it has expired already, you have to go through a rigorous process of like sending in a picture of yourself physically, like printing a physical picture of yourself and being like, hey, this is me. But if you are within 10 years and it hasn't expired, you can just renew it and do that all online and be like, hey, here's a picture of me. Mine expired over a year. I did the whole thing. It didn't work. So I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to like just pretend like mine hasn't expired. And I'm going to just go through the same digital like process and be like, here we go. Let's go for it. Let's do it. And you know what happened? I got in the mail. I opened it up, a brand new passport. I fudged the system. I didn't bow to them.
Don't bow to them.
I'm like, I bet if you just do it, you send them you send them the money ahead of time, and I feel like that helps. That has like most to do with it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, he already paid us. In reality, none of it really matters. It's just our arbitrary rules that we make up.
So true.
So let's just give it to him.
And I want to say,
I'm very
a federal crime live on YouTube.
Live on air.
That's awesome.
This is full government name in the lower third.
I'm saying, come at me. I can take them.
Just
We're also, if you look into the description of the episode, you're also going to find Justin David Oliver's full legal address, social security number, also his IP address, the WA2 security key for his Wi-Fi, and also there's a third way to renew your passport. I don't know if you know this. You just have to find somebody else with a passport. And do you have a Scottish Claymore?
A Scottish Claymore?
Yeah, like a
Claymore,
Braveheart
like
sword.
Oh, that kind of Claymore.
Yeah. No,
I know where I can find one.
Okay. Well, you just have to. Have you seen Highlander?
yes.
The first half of the first movie.
Okay, you'll get the gist of this.
Greatest movie
so
ever
just
made.
go to somebody with a passport when you don't have a passport and renew your passport.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's about that.
I was going to say too,
Pretty
though, Federales, take a look. He's clearly an O.J. Simpson supporter based on the posters.
You're about to be on a watch list, Juice. Things are
Yeah,
happening.
I'm already there.
He got that guitar from Diddy's house.
Juice is maybe one of the most, I've said before, one of the coolest people I know. He's done some bold things. He's told some outlandish, all true stories.
They're wholesome.
But this one coming on and admitting on the line that you
To a
have
federal
to-
offense.
Yeah, and you're like,
They let it go. I mean, they could have
No,
easily
that's
saw, like, oh, it's been more than
So
10
you have
years. They
your other
turned a
passport
blonde
and
eye.
it has to
They're the
have-
ones committing the crime, not me.
You don't have to like mail in your old passport or anything.
No, I still have it.
So weird. I had to mail mine in.
Very
They give
weird.
it back to you, but they give it back to you with like holes in it to be like, this is voided. And I'm like, I think it's automatically voided when you get a new one and use that one. But like, okay.
Yeah, just like your ID, yeah.
Yeah. But wow. There you go. that was wild.
I'm not
Thank
scared.
you. Not scared.
Come at me,
Tonight.
bro.
On the What the Show. God, what's the name of it? Tonight on the What the Show True Crime Podcast, a man with 1,000 bottles of baby oil couldn't slip away.
Hmm.
And he said, "Get off my bourbon, you varmint."
Oh my gosh, I don't have flies. I have gnats. Gnats are going crazy. While my computer was restarting, I went to the bathroom and killed about 15 of them, just going like this. Gnats just suddenly infested my apartment. It's not good.
You
Man,
know-
For 1,000 bottles of baby oil, have you seen Cannibal the musical?
No, you know
I've
he
never
never
seen
pays
a
attention to
musical.
the chat.
Doesn't even look
He
at
has
the chat.
no idea that we're discussing that tonight. I came in tonight being like, with last night actually, when I was like, I don't think I'll be able to finish it before the stream, but it's fine. I'll enjoy listening to y'all talk about it. And I said directly to Mike, and it's not like Juice is even going to know we're discussing it, so it's fine. I'm more prepared than he is.
I get this reference
Sprinkle?
and that reference.
Do you know about?
I know that one.
Do you know
Scott,
about the
Scott
potatoes?
Pilgrim.
You're still shitty.
Oh wait,
I thought
no,
that
that's
was a
Wayne's
Major
World.
League
That's
reference.
Wayne's World.
Major League. That's one of the greatest movies
Oh,
of
it's
all time.
Oh, I'm mixing up the shitty Beatles. Yeah, okay.
I mean, the shitty Beatles is a whole nother story.
Oh no, that's
Wayne's World.
so it's not just a clever name.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
the joke.
That's Wayne's World.
It's just an apt description of the band.
Oh.
That's what I've heard. Y'all, I'm in trouble because I didn't order a Bill Paxton shirt, but it's fine. He'll be with me in my heart.
I also did not.
I did.
Well, Mike's prepared.
And
Juice-
Juice did.
Juice-
I am, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Juice does.
Yeah, Juice is
Really
prepared.
suck lady.
Me and AJ are not prepared, but I would like to really reiterate I'm prepared in my heart, and I think that counts.
And my heart will go on.
I do have a Godfather shirt. Not the Godfather, but the Godfather.
The Godfather.
Oh,
Yes, the Godfather.
Papa Shango?
Same guy.
yes, that Godfather. I can retrieve the shirt if you'd like. It's actually it's quite.
I think
nice.
the show will likely fall apart if you don't, so I would do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I love now. He was supposed to come to our local Comic-Con, but they rescheduled it. He couldn't do the rescheduled dates, but there was 2 days, and if he went on Saturday, he was going to be the Godfather, and if he went on Sunday, he was going to be Papa Shango. I'm like, oh, I want to go both days.
Papa Shango was something, y'all. Wrestling was a real wild time in the 90s.
Papa Shango lit people on fire.
I'm sort of relieved and sad at the same time that I didn't get to experience it.
So I am planning on getting a haircut.
Uh-oh.
FYI.
Oh,
It'll still be long, but it won't be like ponytail long.
the ponytail will be going bye-bye.
I'm wondering if I should do it in the next few days or if I should do it in the next few weeks. If you
Weeks.
Can I
catch
chop it
my
off?
drift.
What are we
Yes,
voting
weeks.
on? We're saying we're voting weeks. Are we
Yeah.
voting weeks? We're voting weeks, everyone.
No,
Okay.
we're voting days.
Days?
A week and a half.
Week
You
and a
want-
half. Okay.
Yep. I
So
want
for
to chop it
tomorrow.
off.
I don't have much to do next Thursday, so I think I might do it then. We'll see.
Guys,
You don't have much to do next
Good.
Thursday?
we're good. We can tell people that we're going to horror nights together.
Yeah, we're allowed to say.
We're allowed to say it now.
I have a lot of let me rephrase. I have a lot of time to kill next Thursday.
So
Somebody scheduled his flight at 6 a.m.
so
It's beautiful.
Juice likes an early flight, okay? And
I
he's
like an
smart.
early flight. I hate an early morning.
Yeah.
beyond this, I bought this shirt last year. This
I'm gonna wear it.
Pimpin' Ain't Easy tie-dye Godfather shirt.
It's beautiful.
Because I was hanging out with Mike Deacon and we were looking at old wrestling matches.
With PLD too.
Yes. In a B&B in New Jersey. And we started looking at The Godfather and basically just would you rather blank or do you want these hoes became a thing.
Yeah.
And I got back to Nebraska. I was having health issues, but I still thought to myself, I need a Godfather shirt.
Benny, would you rather watch Speak No Evil again, or do you want these hoes?
Age range, abilities of the hose. Like for sexual purposes, I don't really need them, but like, can they carry large bags of concrete? Are they good golfers?
They're more clerical hoes. Clerical hose. So they can do like your taxes or like any accounting you have. HR, if you need HR, these are HR hose.
How much do they type per minute?
Yeah.
60 words per minute.
Then we'll definitely go
lot?
with the hose.
Yeah.
In this particular situation.
Yeah, I agree. If they can do my taxes, sold. I'm taking the hose.
Yeah. Lomas has chosen the clerical hose.
The
Clerical hose, by the way, great band name.
I was gonna say that'd be a great fantasy football team name too.
Yeah.
Anyone watching that wants to start a band, I've always advocated for a band called Deaf Mutes Lying to Themselves. So if you want to take that title and run with it, please do so.
Just the other day, I thought
I
was driving my moped around town, and I went.
Of course,
I entered through an exit, and I thought like that would be a great like 2000s pop punk album title, like entering through the exit. Yeah, like you're doing like some very small thing that's not a crime, but like that people would take one look and be like, all right, you're out of my mind.
Wasn't that a Led Zeppelin album title?
No, Led Zeppelin's all numerical.
Right, I think so. Maybe
only the first 4 are numerical. They went to album titles like 4.
Hold on.
Yeah, there's only 4 albums.
Well, okay. You want to put it like that, sure. But
I'm just gonna see if by any chance Led Zeppelin is at all affiliated with
In Through the Outdoor. That's what it is.
Oh, see, same vibe.
That's kind of the same vibe, yeah. But like an edgy 20-year-old pop punk band.
Yeah.
Different meaning.
Very like a little nasally vocal,
Yeah.
Very 2008. Love it. Sign me up. Emo bangs.
They're really just ranting at their parents.
They have the black wrist sweatbands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, eyeliner.
Our vocalist had that.
Yeah. Was the thing. Had to. Absolutely had to. So Cannibal.
So let's build a snowman. We can make him our best friend. No, nobody.
we can call him Bob or Beowulf.
I don't understand this reference.
That was the one moment.
Sounds like Club Dreb.
I hoped that you got to was the Let's Build a Snowman musical number, because they get to the point where they're about to resort to cannibalism. Like things have gotten bad, right?
They did a snowman song before Frozen.
This is like
someone gets it royalties.
Yeah, it's a better snowman song, Bethany.
I thought that this was a parody of Do You Want to Build a Snowman? And now I'm realizing that this came first.
Yeah.
This came 7.5 years
more
before.
More than that.
I'm making a Club Dread reference.
17 in there.
The man who does nothing but Club Dread. And I try to make a reference. This is the 3rd time this week that he has thought I'm an absolute moron, everyone. And I would like to go on record and say I'm actually very smart. I know things.
He's smarter than me.
Yes, I am. Not enough. But
Listen, Bethany, have you ever heard about mansplaining?
yeah.
Well, here, let me tell you about it.
Okay, please do.
This episode is brought to you by Mansplaining.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Mansplaining. Seriously, the 3rd time. I can't remember what the 2nd one was, but I know it has happened like once a day.
We need to get like Mr. T Public a like the Manscaped logo, but change it to Mansplain.
I'd wear that. Truly.
We could actually sell some shirts.
Yes, that would be it. So they have a song where they are about to resort to cannibalism, but
It's shortly before it, yeah.
But instead they're like, we're gonna build a snowman real quick to like lift everyone's spirits.
So Swan, the MVP of the movie, he's the most interesting character of the movie, to the point where if you were having trouble watching this movie, after 106 minutes in, when Swan dies, sorry, the movie's 31 years old. But after Swan dies, the movie does come to a crashing halt. But he is the MVP of this movie, and he is hysterical. So everybody's like, we're dying, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God. And he's like, guys, you know what we should do? Let's build a snowman. And it's glorious. He tap dances in the snow, and it makes the tapping noise. And then they call back to it, and they're like, hey, you remember when Swan was making the tapping noises in the snow? How did he do that? They actually say it.
Which is a fair question to ask.
And then they shoot him.
Wow, Mr. Miyagi.
Blows his fucking
Okay.
brains out.
Wait, so they kill each other?
Yeah, they're cannibals.
Well, I just assumed it was like the Donner Party where they all died and then they started eating each other to like stay alive. Like it was.
They
like,
talk about the Donner Party in the movie.
Mike did tell me that much.
Bethany got half an hour in, by the way, Benny.
Which
And now
it wasn't very quick.
I don't even think that was.
I just had other things to watch, and then I didn't have time to watch
The Aaron Hernandez, what do you call it? True crime.
True crime show, Mabobber.
We only watched one episode so far. We still
And
gotta watch the
there's
second.
two, so I stopped to watch, but I could not stay up that late. So I said I will watch them green screen these people into the University of Florida at another time, and I'm looking forward to it personally.
In retrospect, which would have been better? The first episode of the Aaron Hernandez story or Cannibal the Musical?
You know what, AJ, in retrospect, I will say Cannibal the Musical because yes, sure.
I will say this: the first episode of the Aaron Hernandez, because it's so much of him when it's leading up to him getting to college, so it's just like framework. So it's hard to judge the series
Before he's murdering people.
Yeah, it's hard to judge where the series is going because it's still him when he's a kid.
Yeah, they have to answer questions like, how the fuck did this guy get into college?
See, I think they should take a different tact with the series and just have like a severe like plot swerve in the middle where it turns out Gronkowski is the killer and he set Hernandez up.
Hell
Like,
yes.
that's the only way this thing becomes a winner.
That would make a very interesting show for sure. I'd watch
And
it.
do you know who's playing Gronk?
Danny
Travis Kelce.
Well, it is weird to watch a show where it's about a tight end who is famous for murder, and then they keep showing a preview for the coming up Brian Murphy show, which will have a current NFL tight end in it. And I was like, this is a little weird and meta at the moment. I don't know if they thought that one through.
And by the way, fantasy football in that era, guess who bet on Aaron Hernandez and not Gronk? But not Gronk's.
The same guy who bet on Bo
player of
Nix
the
this
week.
year.
Yeah, that's a thing.
You weren't wrong. He was a good football player. He just wasn't a good person.
And if you were in one of the leagues that had like murders as one of the things that got you extra points, like you would have crushed like what you would have got with Gronk. It was really a settings issue. Is more of a player choice.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
A
commissioner
murder
sucked.
for 2,000 points. You win the league if you get the murder.
Yeah, I would have for sure. We should set that. Inevitably, it's going to happen again. They all have brain damage.
So did T. Higgins get like point? Or no, was it Tyler Boyd get 0.5 murders?
It was T. Higgins.
0.5 murders.
Did win me a league in 2003 simply on murders, but
Oh. T. Higgins, who was part of the DeMar Hamlin play.
Yeah, that. Oh God.
Yeah.
So that's why we're giving him a 0.5.
Yeah, so he gets 1,000 points, not 2,000.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's fair. Yeah, I count it for sure. I mean,
Yo, that stat correction on Monday was a bitch.
Oh, wow.
that's terrible, but also very funny.
If he wasn't okay, I would have not made the joke.
Yeah,
so.
but he's fine, so it's okay. Now he's injuring people, so it's fine.
Yeah.
He wasn't injured.
Somebody fell on him and was injured.
Yes, and he's not to blame here. And Tua should really. Do we get points if Tua murders himself? Because if he doesn't hang it up,
I think that cancels it out.
Hang it up. Back to Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, wow.
clever word.
Guys,
Terrible.
so back to Cannibal the Musical.
Mm-hmm. This is all, yeah. These are all very morbid. Cannibalism, Aaron Hernandez. None of these are happy things.
We need another.
It's a very normal Wednesday night here with the show.
What's a show? It is a fairly
It
normal
is.
Wednesday night.
Standard run of the mill.
Justin David Oliver. Wait, AJ, I don't think I know your middle name. Do I know your middle name?
No, yeah, I know his middle name. It's AJ. Well, I mean, it's not AJ, but I mean, the J is his middle name.
Yeah, it's AJ motherfucking Lancaster.
But what does the J stand for? Because it's Aaron.
J.
J Lancaster. What is James? Is it James?
Yeah, it's James. It's
Yeah.
the most boring middle name of all time. Yep.
Aw.
My friend across the street. I am looking at his house. It's right there. His
Yeah,
name is also Aaron James.
You know, you could go
That's
into
how I
Miami
remember it.
nightclub and just start firing openly, and then you'll hit somebody named James, the middle name. God damn it, these Aaron Hernandez jokes.
Damn.
I was pointing at Aaron James, like the coincidence of the Aaron James, not the James.
Yeah, that was. I think that's the best I got.
Do you know what, like the thing that really threw me in Cannibal the musical is, like, when I was a kid, you would hear like the off-color jokes by like the older generation about like, yeah, it's a Mormon at a potato bar. Like, you know, this is going to take longer than a Mormon at a potato bar. And like, it's like all day you would hear these, but you know, as society has gotten more PC and what have you, you really don't get a lot of the Mormon and potato jokes like you used to back in the day. And I thought it was kind of jarring. You just don't expect that kind of language anymore.
Yeah, like when they meet the Indians and he's like, we are from Utah. He's just like, huh? And he pulls out the Book of Mormon and then he's like, Utah. It's like, ah. It's like, you know, it's hard to say that's not. How do I put this? It's a good meditation for me on movies that you couldn't make today, because like the jokes are funny enough that you could definitely do like most of them today.
I was being sarcastic about the whole thing.
Oh,
About Mormons and potatoes.
Was that an actual thing? The Mormons and potatoes?
No,
I've never heard that.
I just sold it
It's
too
just-
hard. It's like my acting chops were like really
I
good.
was like, because I'm like, Mormons don't have a reputation for like eating a lot of potatoes and being fat. They have a reputation for like riding bikes and like and like showing up.
And fist fighting the Amish.
but okay, there's Mormon, there's Utah Mormons and there's Idaho Mormons. Idaho Mormons are a real thing. That's like the second biggest Mormon population.
They could be the potato Mormons.
Yeah.
I do have something regarding the map to say, but I'll wait till Bethany gets back because Bethany loves the map.
Yes.
Who doesn't love the map?
It's a great map.
It's a wonderful map. Yes, there we go. Man, I'll tell you who doesn't love it.
There it is.
That smug son of a bitch. That son of a bitch who's never seen Jaws.
that probably will go down as one of the greatest bits on What the Show Ever is.
That show is not
Jeff Alterman letterboxed fiasco.
We had to
You
change,
hasn't seen Jaws?
we had to change our thumbnail and title description midway through the episode. Oh wow, Betty. So like, I know Moose has already brought this up that we're going to be doing a collaboration in November with all of us, but we're all going to talk about Red One. What are your thoughts about Red One right now?
I'm excited for it. Like, there's It's either going to be a fun, cheesy action movie, or it's going to be something so horrifically horrible you can laugh at it. So I don't see a huge potential for loss.
I think this is one of the movies that I'm going to go into the theater, and regardless of what happens, it's not going to be something I immediately forget. And that's like my least favorite kind of movie. When I walk out and 5 minutes later, I forget what I just watched. I don't think we're going to get that. So I'm excited for that. And very, very similar to what you said right there. It could be very much because it's the same director as Jumanji, correct? I think it is.
I don't know.
But or the same producer or something, because I know they're somehow involved. It's going to either be so.
Holy shit! It's directed by Lawrence Kasdan's son.
Oh, shows what I know.
What the fuck? Who is also the director of the Jumanji reboots?
That's okay. So I was right. Yeah. So
What the hell?
I don't think it's going to be boring, at the very least.
I think this movie is. I don't remember what it was exactly, but this is one of the more expensive movies made.
No, is it a Netflix production? Because it feels like a Netflix.
No,
Hasn't it been filmed for like 2 or 3 years and just been sitting there?
$250 million.
Yeah.
By the way, if you can name any other movie, hands up. We're gonna Schmodown pandemic this.
All right.
Any other movie by the son of Lawrence Kasdan, director-wise?
Ooh.
Jake Kasdan.
Jake
Kasdan. Justin, we're doing a Schmodown. Jake Kasdan, son of Lawrence Kasdan. Movies directed by him. Do you know any?
I'm gonna go with Goon Part 2.
It's a good guess.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I know, like, there's one up there, but I can't remember what it is.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready. Orange County, Walk Hard, Bad Teacher, Sex Tape, and the Jumanji remakes, or the Jumanji sequels.
The one I was going to guess was Night School because of Kevin Hart, but wow. Goes back to Orange County, though. Orange County is a hot minute ago.
Yeah, Orange County is quietly pretty dope. Like, that's a movie that has, like, a few, like, subtle jokes that you really just keep on referencing, even though, I mean, I think the movie sucks. Walk Hard is infinitely quotable. One of the funniest
Walk Hard's
movies.
amazing.
I love it. Oh, it's so good.
Walk Hard recreated the documentary by being a spoof of documentaries, and all the documentaries became Walk Hard.
Tim Meadows in that movie turns all your happy feelings into bad feelings, or all your bad feelings into happy feelings. You don't want none of this shit.
I think that Walk Hard is probably a more accurate Johnny Cash biopic than Walk the Line.
Walk the Line.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that facetiously. I really feel like it is.
Like, it's just outlandish enough that it's maybe a little bit more true.
Yeah, Walk the Line. I didn't think it was a terrible movie, but like I walked out of it like. Yeah, I liked it enough. I think obviously Reese Witherspoon was really, really good in it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw Walk Hard, I just like they made the better Johnny Cash story.
Yeah.
I think Bethany actually, if I'm not mistaken, like whether it was over the pandemic or like since we've been together, she had not seen Walk Hard, and that was one of the few times like that we have a movie that. She calls them boy movies or boys who grew up in the 90s movies, which is what I primarily am known for. She very rarely enjoys them, but I think she did actually kind of get a kick out of that one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like Swingers is one of her least favorite movies of all time.
Okay, so that just reminds me. I watched the first episode of Bad Monkey. How old do you guys think Vince Vaughn is? That's another trivia question.
All right. So Vince Vaughn was probably give or take 25-ish when Swingers came out. So Swingers came out in 95. So that's 30. So Vince Vaughn is probably, I'm going to say, in the neighborhood of about 57.
I'm going to go 54.
Benny, you hit it on the head.
Wow.
How
Wait,
long?
did I get Swinger? Make sure I got Swingers right.
How long has Vince Vaughn been playing 45 years old? I'm going to say it's in the neighborhood of like 24 years. Like, it's somewhere around there. He's been playing 45 at least since Old School.
You know, Bad Monkey. I watched the first 3 episodes of that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun show, but I don't know if it's fun enough for me to watch the last 5 episodes.
See,
I've not quite got there yet.
I watched the first one, and like, you ever read John Grisham novels? Like,
I try to avoid see if all possible.
Okay.
Or like watch like John Grisham movies, like The Client or The Pelican Brief, or that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
This is like a John Grisham novel, like, but with like that kind of like protagonist where he's just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna goof off. I've achieved everything in the world, and I'm gonna fuck off. I love that, and it works with Vince Vaughn, but it feels like you're trying to do too much, right?
I don't mind it. I think that in the end, it's a lot like Cannibal. Like if you find a severed arm, there's only a handful of creative options like left to you if you're, doing like visual media. Like, do you turn it into the police? Do you eat it? Does this devolve into some weird Russian snuff film that you're selling on the black market? Like really, those are the only 3 options that you have.
Go back to the Russian snuff film.
Go back to it?
Yeah. Tell me more.
No, I promised myself I would not go back to that. Not since 1997. I have enough money now. Thank you.
So when I just Googled Swingers to verify the year, which was 96, not 95.
You just Googled Swingers.
It says, well, obviously the movie comes up, and then there's just a little Google thing where
scroll down until you find a pineapple.
Well, at the top, very top, it just says see results about swingers. Or no, it says see results about swinging. And the picture is just a lady on like a swing set. And then underneath,
a pineapple.
No, underneath swinging, it just says sexual practice. But it's just a lady on a swing.
All of the above.
I'm scrolling down to get to see the pineapple.
Maybe click on the images tab.
Turn off the safe search filter.
You're so money and you don't even know it, Justin.
Still just Jon Favreau.
Johnny Favs. Young Johnny Favs at that point. He was...
Yeah.
And somehow in that movie he gets with Heather Graham.
Well, and there's things like you go back to The Replacements. Homie was stacked.
Right.
Like,
he was
built.
The Replacements. That's like probably, I would think, aside from when I went on my Club Dread kick, I think The Replacements probably is the most referenced movie on this program.
Yeah, I think we should be a more replacements-oriented program.
We bring it up a lot. It comes up on here a whole lot.
It's just such a comfort movie. Like Benny, next time you come on, you want to ditch like indie student films and like talk about the fucking Replacements because it's just a joy.
We can, but I don't think I've watched it since the 90s.
Really?
Yes.
It was the first DVD that I was ever gifted for like a birthday or anything like that, and I was 11 years old when it came out on DVD.
I'm just old enough that I tend to go more towards necessary roughness when I'm going for my
Ooh.
90s sports football comedy.
Yeah, Necessary Roughness is bomb. And like when you go back into like the new rules of college football, I'm guessing that movie ages in a really ridiculous way.
Oh yeah.
Like
It
you think about like
does.
NIL rules and all that shit.
But one thing I think is fun about that movie is some of their fictional schools I think exist now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I believe they're like, the villain is, I think, Texas State. And, now there's a Division I Texas State. It was prophetic in its own way.
It's kind of like I've always wanted to buy. I might do it tonight. A University of Texas El Paso McGruber jersey. Like, say they reference that he played tight end in one line. Like, that's so great. And then also like when
Where did Justin David go?
when the Washington Commanders were going through their naming crisis, one of the top voted things that they wanted for the name of the team was the Washington Sentinels.
Right.
But they would have had to pay out royalties to for the name. So we don't have the Washington Sentinels for that reason.
They
That's
have
sad.
more money than God. I think they could have afforded it.
Yeah, they didn't want to, I should say.
Mm.
So they settled with a much more creative option, Commander.
Yeah, the commies. I believe commie red.
So true. I feel like I missed a lot. I just came in and we randomly were talking about Washington, and I don't know what I missed.
Mostly awkward silence and threats.
Yeah.
Then they talk.
Like
Then-
swingers?
Yeah, they talked Juice into looking up amateur porn, and then he turned off his camera and vanished. So that's pretty much where we were when you came in.
And that's how you never come on.
We're
What's
not joking. That's exactly what happened.
I'm gonna rewatch the like 10 minutes I missed. Jesus.
Also, the people from the passport issuing building are probably ransacking the apartment right now.
The facts have been proven.
We doxed Justin, got him into swingers lifestyles, and Spadoinkle.
Spadoinkle!
The baked potato.
Yeah, so
Nobody had the music ready.
No.
I thought you were gonna do it anyway.
I was so ready for it to be right there. We brought
Yeah.
up when your swingers came out. We were talking about Russian snuff films.
I don't know. Oh my god, he's back. The FBI didn't storm your house.
You're muted.
Dude, we're gonna change your name. Should we change it to Bob or Bartholomew? Let's build snowman.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead. I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Before we do this, I just want to say, not my best work.
Well, hang on. I got to map it quick.
Okay.
Okay, we'll show the map and then we'll.
All right. So
Not
real
my
quick.
best work though. We can all acknowledge that.
So the other day at work, randomly, my boss was like, "Hey, I was randomly challenged myself to see how quickly I could write down all 50 states, like without any memory or whatever, and I only got 48 within 5 minutes." And so I was like, "Oh, that kind of sounds like something I could do." So I go and like start. I like put a timer and I like put 5 minutes and I go for it. I only got 40.
You got 40?
I got 40, which I guess is still pretty good.
I could
for 5
do maybe
minutes.
15.
But whoops, wrong one. But yeah, I don't know.
Which ones did you miss?
I apparently forgot Oregon, which I thought I got all the West Coast ones. I forgot
What?
Oregon,
That's an easy one.
Alabama. Sorry.
Who cares about Alabama?
Come on.
Nobody who lives there
Yeah.
matters.
It's fair that you
Mississippi.
forgot
I forgot about Rhode Island. I
that.
thought
Well, also,
I got
also-
Delaware. I got Delaware, and I was like, "That's the smallest one."
Okay, you. Okay, Mississippi isn't Mimmel, so I guess that. Do you guys know about Mimmel the elf? Mimmel the elf.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, Mimmel the elf is Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, right? Mimmel. And then you look, the Minnesota's the hat, and then the rest is a little elf guy.
What?
Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana. Mimmel the elf.
He needs to clean his hat.
Yeah, it's a little rust colored. It's a little pot belly. Like, it's cute, right? It's cute.
I think so.
Yeah.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
It's 2 minutes for roping. I like that. You're a jabroni. Go ahead.
Speak no evil. I can't have this anymore.
Yeah, I didn't want to go into Speak No Evil too much because I loved the original foreign film, and then they turned it into a John Travolta movie.
It was really a bad movie.
We're still
Yeah.
on stream. Okay, bye.